All right, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Braze onboarding program. I know some of you applied some time ago and you've been waiting seriously for this moment. Oh yeah, so the moment has come where we get to help you understand what the Brace program is all about and what you stand to benefit as a Brace participant. So welcome everyone to this session. I know most of you are joining from different places, different countries within Africa. You are so much welcome, and I understand that there's different timing for different countries, and so some of you are joining in the evening, while some of you are joining in the afternoon. So welcome everyone to the Brace onboarding program. So quickly, I would let us establish the agenda. But before we go into that, we have the interpretation services. So if you are a French speaker, you are able to understand or listen in the French language. So to be able to do that, we have 4 different steps to go about that. So if you have logged into this Zoom program or the Zoom session with your computer, please mute audio as you've joined, and then click the interpretation button just by the bottom right of your screen, and after which you will you will see the original audio, you will see French, and then you will see English. Click on French and then mute the original audio so that you will not be listening to the French language and the original speaker at the same time. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm sure my colleagues will also drop this step-by-step interpretation in the comment section so that you're able to understand how to go about listening in French language. So quickly, for our agenda today, we have introduction, we have the pulse check, we have the About AFC, which is that will be having opening remarks, and then we'll have the intro videos play to you, and then we'll have the keynote speech. We have very wonderful personalities that will be talking to you today. You really do not want to miss that part. And then we'll have the group photograph, after which we'll now go into the main deal of the day, which is the Brace program updates. That is where you get to understand Brace the more. You get to understand the journey so far, the overview, the components of Brace. And then once we are done with that, we'll do the portal walkthrough, because Brace is a program where you are able to do a self-paced learning through a dedicated portal. We're going to be showing you the portal and how you're going to go about using the portal. Then after that, we're going to be unveiling all of you. That's the part I'm actually very excited about, where we'll be seeing your beautiful faces and unveiling the participants in this batch. Oh, well, if you did not share your picture with us, sorry. So after that, we're going to have the Q&A, and then we'll have the votes of thanks. Thank you so very much, everyone. And so quickly, let us introduce ourselves in the comment section. I'm sure some of you have already started doing that. Please introduce yourself and also tell us how excited you are about this program, about this great session that you're going to be starting today. So after onboarding, that will be explained to you later on. After onboarding, we're going to have 6 weeks of live interactive session where we'll come here every week, Friday, to talk to each other, to get to understand what the Brace program is, and then the modules that we've learned in the portal. Don't let me let the cat out of the bag yet, but yes, we're going to be having all of that. So how excited about are you about this program? I'm actually very excited. Just I'm sharing my screen, I'm not able to drop an emoji to be able to describe how I am happy. I'm actually really, really happy about this program, and I'll let you know later on why I am this happy. So quickly, we'll have about African Food Changemakers. We understand that there are some of you that saw this program online for the first time and you decide to apply. You saw the application online. You don't even know what African Food Changemakers is, but because you saw an opportunity, you decided to apply and all of that. So we understand that there are people like that here that does not know what or who African Changemakers are. So we're going to, let you know all of that now. And to do that, I have the privilege of calling on the programs manager at African Food Changemakers to take you through who we are. So quickly, I'll be calling on the programs manager. Her name is Kachi Mwachukwu to take us through about African Food Changemakers. Hi, Kachi. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hello, Patience. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please, thank you so much, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patience. And it's indeed my pleasure to welcome the third batch of our Brace participants for the 2025 cohorts. I can actually see the excitement in your voices, in your chats. The WhatsApp group has been buzzing since yesterday, and that gives me so much joy and great pleasure. Today marks the beginning of an important journey for us, one that requires commitment, innovation, and a shared vision for a more resilient and sustainable agriculture future. Today, we are going to find out that agriculture is not just about producing food. It's about securing livelihoods, strengthening communities, and safeguarding our environment for future generations. It's a challenge that has been posed by climate change, and they are real. And also in these challenges, also there are opportunities that are presented to us. And through this GRACE program, we'll gain practical knowledge, proven strategies, and we'll also have a network of our peers and mentors who are going to help us to navigate through those challenges of climate change. And through this journey today, we'll be able to depend on each other, learn and adapt to implement some of the strategies that has been taught us. And I encourage us to embrace the BRACE program with an open mind and actively engage in every session and apply the insights that we have gained to the work that we all do. So I welcome all of us, and I will go straight up into introducing who we are at African Food Changemakers. So African Food Changemakers is a non-profit organization committed to nourishing Africa and changing the narrative about how Africa is perceived globally. And this is because we believe that small and medium enterprises are the lifeblood of our ecosystem. Our agribusinesses are run by young, dynamic, and visionary entrepreneurs who oftentimes are faced with different issues ranging from climate change to global and local risks to macro and microeconomic challenges that affect their businesses. Some of them have limited access to funds, limited access to training, and low visibility and market linkages. All of this affect the way we scale our businesses and the global vision that we have for African businesses to fly our flags globally. And that is where African Food Changemakers come in. Through trainings, through capacity building, and by providing us with access to markets and access to finance, we facilitate opportunities for agribusinesses that will help them to scale their businesses. And we do this through a couple of programs that we run, and also through our digital and membership hub, which I'm going to be talking about in the next slide. Can I have the next slide? All right, so our mission as African Food Changemakers is to help agribusinesses to scale, which I have just talked about. Okay, back to our membership hub. All right, so first and foremost, I'd like to establish that African Food Changemakers is a membership organization. All right, when you are a member of African Food Changemakers organization, when you're a member of our network, you have access to scale, you have access to opportunities, you have access to our digital hub and our marketplace where you can display your goods, you can find buyers, you can connect with other agribusinesses across Africa. And when you become a member of African Food Changemakers, you have the visibility that you need to scale your business to the next level. And also through our digital hub, we constantly share opportunities. That's where we share opportunities for accessing markets, for opportunities for accessing finances and other things that you need to scale your businesses. So if you are not a member of African Food Changemakers, I encourage you to sign up today by just visiting our hub. Go to www.afchub.org. And once you click there, you have the opportunity to sign up. All you need is to have a registered business, to have been in operation for a minimum of 6 months, and to have a website or a social media presence. Once you meet these 3 criteria, you are eligible to be an AFC member. And once we verify that, we welcome you into the community, and you have the opportunity to have access to our hub and all of the opportunities that we share with agribusinesses. And in addition to this hub, we also have our programs at African Food Changemakers. And again, when we design our programs, we keep our members in mind because we have a scale across Africa. We think of what do our agribusinesses need the most, and all of these programs that we implement, our members are at the center of our programs. And even though you have been accepted into the BRACE program, please keep in mind, oh, I just realized that my camera is not on. Okay, so even though you have been invited into the BRACE program, please keep in mind that that does not guarantee you to be a member of African Food Changemakers, because we recognize that there are different enthusiasts and there are people that need some of the knowledge that we share on our programs that don't necessarily have agribusinesses and don't necessarily have companies. We open up our programs to as many people as possible. But to be a member, you have to be an owner of an agri-business. Now I talk about our different programs at African Food Changemakers. So the BRACE program, I'm not going to dwell so much on it because that is what we are here for. And in the coming sessions, we would learn more about the BRACE program. But the BRACE program is building resilience against climate and environmental shocks, and is an intensive capacity building program that will expose you to the impact of climate change on your agribusinesses and help you to come up with strategies that will help you to adapt and to mitigate against the impact of climate change on your businesses. This BRACE program commenced in 2023, and my colleague is going to share some of the successes that we've recorded through the BRACE program. The second is the Leading African Women in Food Fellowship. We recognize the issues that women in agriculture face. And this program was specifically designed to identify outstanding women across Africa who are making changes with their platform, who are advocating for other agribusinesses. We identify them and we amplify their work and equip them to be champions, to be advocates, to make their voices heard across the world so that they can reduce some of the barriers that women face in the food and agricultural space. Since the inception of the Leading African Women in Food Fellowship, we have the third cohort in session, and we have been able to train 89 women. Each cohort takes about 25 to 30 women. We've had 3 cohorts, and we have been able to train 89 women who are doing phenomenally well, who are being voices across Africa, who are opening doors for other agribusinesses through policies, through actions, through campaigns, and also through using their platforms to change the way that Africa is viewed. And thirdly, we have our Scaling Export program. So through this program, we build the capacity of SMEs to be able to export healthy and nutritious agri-products across Africa and beyond their local markets. We want to go to shelves in Europe, in North America, in South America, in Asia, all over the world, and see African food on shelves. It takes capacity building to know the certifications, the regulations, the compliance that you need to meet in order to be able to have your products on those shelves. And that is what the Scaling Export Program is all about. Through this program, we have been able to train over 300 agribusinesses, and they are all doing well. A lot of them have accessed, on the average, more than 2 different new markets after they went through the Scaling Export Program. Next slide, please. All right, so we also have our changing narrative. We talked about the way the world sees Africa. We are going to see it in the video that we are going to play after this presentation. The narrative about Africa is not a very palatable one. There is the need for all of us, and that is where our name, Changemakers, come from. Our products, from our voices, from the way we present African food and African products. All of us are change makers. And through our podcast, through our stories, through our spotlights, we want to take control of the narrative so that Africa is not viewed from the lens of the West and non-African, but we want to take control and be able to tell our stories so that globally, African food, African enterprises are given the recognition and the respect that they deserve. So in the next slide, please, I'm going to be talking about the impact of African food change makers. So far, we have over 145,000 people that are using our hub on a daily basis. We have this number of people that come to our hub. We have over 8,000 members, 8,000 agribusinesses that are members, verified members of African food chain makers. And we have organized over 125 knowledge sharing sessions with enterprises such as yourself. We have also our members from 49 countries out of 54 countries in Africa, and we are still looking to cover the entire African continent. And so far, through our programs, 6,355 enterprises have been able to access funding through our virtual hub. And also we have over 22 global partners that are supporting the work that we do to help you agripreneurs to scale your businesses. So once more, I welcome you on this journey. Sit back, relax, learn more about who we are at African Food Changemakers and how you can join us to continue to create change in your own different spaces. Thank you very much. And I hand back over to you now. Patience.
All right, thank you so much, Kachi. Thanks for all of that, motivation and inspiration from you to the Brace participants. Thank you so much. So quickly, we'll play the video that Kachi talked about so that you get to understand better all of the things that she explained while she was talking. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Ndidio Kongpong-Muneli, and I've spent most of my adult life trying to change narratives about Africa.
What struck me when I moved to the US was that the face of Africa was a hungry child. I'd go to dinner parties and people would say, oh, my mom used to say, finish your dinner, there's starving children in Biafra or Ethiopia or Eritrea. I'd see, pictures of these starving children in infomercials, in train stations, and it just made me so angry because that was not the face of Africa that I had grown to recognize in my own backyard.
The African food narrative is often misconstrued. What if we told you a different story? What if we showed you how Africa feeds itself and how Africa can feed the world? Meet the African Food Changemakers, a community of entrepreneurs changing the narrative about food in Africa. Watch how they do this through their small and medium-sized enterprises, which we believe are the lifeblood of the food ecosystem in Africa. But then, faced with the devastating impacts of climate change, global and local risks and shocks, and macro and microeconomic challenges, these entrepreneurs struggle to survive. Through training, funding opportunities, exposure, trade linkages, and a vibrant community fostering peer-to-peer collaborations, we're empowering entrepreneurs for global reach and recognition. Our programs and resources support climate resilience and adaptation, business development and entrepreneurship, gender equitable agri-food systems, international trade capacity building, and other key areas. With significant impact made since 2022, we are growing our community one agripreneur at a time and spreading our reach across the continent.
Hi, my name is Ngozi Roland Nonegwonke. I'm the CEO of 7 Foods and Spices.
My name is Bayo Adewoye. I'm co-founder and CEO at Grovesto.
I am Chiamaka Wakalo Egemba, also known as Chef Amaka, the Queen of Afrofusion.
My success story cannot be complete without AFC. AFC is the way to go. If you're looking for the right network, if you're looking for the organization that will support you, both in capacity building, both in holding your hands.
The PRAISE program has really impacted us in a large way. In the way we work, we actually work with smallholder farmers, and a lot of them are in the rural area. They don't have this understanding. So what we've learned through the PRAISE program, we're now impacting it to the smallholder farmers that we're working with.
There are certain things that I got from the leading African women in food fellowship under the African Food Changemakers. And one of them is the mentorship programs. Indeed, I can't wait to show the world everything that I've learned.
Only AFC can give you that opportunity. Don't miss it.
Join us to be a part of our community and support our vision of 1 million successful and sustainable African agri-businesses recognized and respected globally. African Food Changemakers, nourishing Africa and changing global narratives. Partner with us today.
We need to support small and medium-sized agri-food enterprises by creating an enabling environment for them, providing training, catalytic financing, enabling them to scale. We also need to support women-owned businesses, especially those run by young women. We must collectively build a food ecosystem that works not just for us, but for future generations. Join us.
All right, thank you so much. Hope you took one or two information from that video. So please, for those of you posting WhatsApp groups in the comment section, this is not from the BRACE program, please. And also, if you do not stop it, you may be removed from the meeting. So please do not post WhatsApp groups in the comment section. This is not the program to post WhatsApp groups, please, and please, so we don't remove you from this meeting room. Thank you so much for listening to that video. And what are you waiting for? Please join us at African Food Changemakers. Let us make impact together. Let us do great things within Africa together. We really need to change the global narratives, and we cannot do it just in our corners. We all need to come together and do these things together. Really, Africa can feed itself, but we need to take the initiatives. We need to, move with plans ahead of us, and we need to move as a team all the time. So yes, this is the time for the keynote speech, and we have some very beautiful personalities to take us through the keynotes. And for our first speaker today, which I'm very excited about, I've really not listened to him before, but this is a great opportunity and I'm so excited. I wish you are as excited too, because it's going to be some punchy lines, right? Thank you so much. So quickly, before I'll call him up, I'll quickly introduce him to us. He's the Chief Executive Officer of African Agribusiness Incubators Network, AAIN, and the founding director of Cohort Consult Agribusiness Incubator Limited. He actually has 25 years of experience. Prof. Alex is a renowned expert in business incubation management, development management, livelihood improvement, climate resilience, agribusiness, value chains development, and international programs development. He's currently a visiting professor of business incubation management, entrepreneurship, and innovations management at the University of Guelph, Canada, American Heritage University of Southern California in the USA, Sokoine University of Agriculture in Tanzania, Cape Coast University in Ghana, and Imbanda University in Uganda. Professor Alex has been the African Research Programs Coordinator for American Heritage University of Southern California since 2020. Professor Alex has consulted for global institutions like the World Bank, the African Union Commission, AFDB, UN Humanitarian Council for Refugees, World Food Programme, Inter-University Council of East Africa, FAO, Canadian Feed the Children, HIFA International, Care International, and World Intelligent Incubators Network, WIIN, among other international and regional organizations. He holds a PhD in development management, a master's degree in development studies, and a bachelor in business administration, alongside numerous other relevant qualifications. As the CEO of the African Agribusiness Incubators Network and founding director of Cohort Consult Agribusiness Incubator, Professor Ariyo has played a pivotal role in supporting the development of agribusiness incubation models and strategic initiatives aimed at employment creation across the continent. Dedicated to promoting employability, Professor Alex specializes in creating employment opportunities for youth, women, and refugees using innovative and scalable agribusiness incubation models. His work emphasizes the importance of food systems transformation, climate smart and technology commercialization as pillars for improving global quality of life. With some resounding ovation in the comment section. Let me be seeing your ovation as you're doing it in the comment section. Let us welcome Professor Alex Ariyo to the virtual podium. Good afternoon, Prophet. Can you hear me, sir? Good afternoon, sir.
Are you able to hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. And greetings, everybody. And thanks so much for that introduction and the welcome remarks as well. Let me switch on my video. Are you able to see me now?
Yes, I can see you, sir. Please go ahead.
Fine, thanks so much once again. Greetings from AIM, and happy to be part of this discussion. And thanks so much once again for the organizers for organizing this important event. I take this as an opportunity, definitely to be part of the discussions that are leading towards the development of human and institutional capacity of the continent. It is critical that we build our own resilience in terms of skills and competencies that are required to support the continent to address most of the challenges that the continent is facing. And I would like to highlight, before I start my address again, where AIN comes in. I'm very happy from the introduction. I think Jacqueline made a very good presentation. My team that are participating will be able to share the profile of AIN and a brief presentation so that you understand where we're coming from and what we do. But simply, we're a network of incubators and accelerators and enterprise support organizations that support the 55 member states of the African Union. So we collaborate with the African Union, with different institutions that are mentioned even in my profile, to support, to address most of the challenges that you already mentioned, especially the presentation of Jacqueline. But majorly, the issue of unemployment is very critical. Food insecurity is very, very alarming in most of the African countries. But at the same time, poverty and related issues that we need to address. And therefore, transforming our economies, we need to work together. So I am deeply honored to be here with you today. And I want to begin by commending each of you for turning up to be part of this important event and also organizing this kind of program that is going to look at addressing the capacities, but sharing experiences around the issues to do with building the climate resilient and economically coming up with sustainable solutions around agribusiness and through innovation. So the theme is very, very critical, but we need to take that together. And I'm very happy that you are looking at agriculture across the entire continent, but looking at the landscape in a bigger picture, looking at the entire ecosystem of food systems. So I would like to move this address by looking at what do we need to do beyond the climate resilience. We often talk about the climate resilience, the ability to withstand basically the shocks of changing climate. But that is critical, but the resilience alone is not the end. We need to look beyond resilience. And beyond resilience means we need to look at the options of taking advantage of what we are calling as a challenge, but turning these challenges into opportunity. And where are these opportunities? Creating ventures that are not only going to be environmentally sound, but are profitable, and running sustainable businesses around resilience that are able to create jobs, that are able to bring food on table, but at the same time, create wealth. So it is critical for us to move beyond resilience, but look at what is it that we're going to do, both in short term and long term, by creating opportunities that will create sustainable businesses. It is very hard to talk about conservation, to talk about sustainable environment when you are talking with a hungry person, when you're talking to a poor person, when you're talking with somebody who is unemployed. It's very difficult to understand that. And therefore, that takes me to the next area of interest. We need to look at the digital innovations in agricultural space. For us to move forward, it's important that we take advantage of digital entrepreneurship, digital solutions that will make it easier for us to be able to operate efficiently, to operate in a manner that is going to be cost effective, but at the same time, adaptability, because adopting some of the initiatives need definitely use of technology. So it is very, very important for us to take advantage of that, use digital solutions in terms of e-trade, e-commerce, but also e-conferencing. I'm happy for this kind of arrangement because I'm talking to people from the whole world, from different countries. Why? Because of digital solutions. So we need to move a step and take advantage of the digital era, and therefore create opportunities around that, and that will definitely allow us to definitely develop new tools, new systems, and new ways of doing things that will ease business, and therefore technology is no longer definitely on an option, but it's a must do. It's not just an option, it is a must do. We must move towards that direction. Now, for us to do that, how do we leverage the capacity, the competence, the energy that the youth in Africa have got? And that's the reason why we are very keen to look at the role of youth and women in driving the transformation. Africa has got an advantage that we have got the big population, and our population, the biggest percentage, is composed of the young people. And the majority are women across the continent. How do we take advantage of that? How do we look at our continent, the entrepreneurship spirit, in building resilient options, solutions that are going to be sustainable, and working on particular, for example, particular value chains? Because for us to be able to address the issues of climate change, we need to look at regional value chains. For example, if you talk about North Africa, what is it that you can do in North Africa? What can North Africa do in collaboration with Southern Africa? What can Southern Africa part do with West Africa? What about Central Africa? What about East Africa? So the regional value chains, taking advantage of the geographical ecosystem, but putting together all this energy of the young people to be able to drive the agenda. You are very much aware that across the continent now, as part of the African Union Agenda 2063, we are talking about the Africa we want, the Africa that we wish to see today and tomorrow. And we are doing that through what we call the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. But I want to challenge everybody here. What are you going to trade if you don't have the skill and you don't have the product? So it is important for us to empower the youth and women to get two important things. Whether they open the borders across the continent for Africans to move from Cape Town to Egypt, from Cairo to Abuja. The only thing you can trade is a product or a service. And for you to trade a service, therefore, you must be competently skilled, and you must be equipped with relevant skills that are demanded by different countries. And therefore, talking about youth and women engagement in driving the economic transformation, we need to equip them. And therefore, it is us to start by equipping ourselves to be part of that transformation. And I'm happy that organizers are sort of this important event of bringing people together and equipping them through knowledge exchange, best practices, and also sharing some experiences across the continent. How do we move forward? So we need to pose a question of how do we integrate technology practically in agro-businesses? We need to start small, but starting small is not a prerequisite that you start small and remain small. We need to start by integrating technology on a small scale. For example, use of mobile phones. We can look at investing in trainings like this online. We can look at options of leveraging partnerships, North and South collaboration. For example, the collaboration between developed countries and developing countries. We can use technology. I just had a team 2 months back in China looking at how Africa can trade and innovate with China, taking advantage of artificial intelligence. We need to move to the level of digital financing. How do we do trade between countries, taking advantage of e-trade? And it's particularly like now, a country like Kenya that innovated the money M-Pesa. So it's an international medium money exchange, and you can do business with Nigeria, you can do business with South Africans, you can use that to boost the trade. And once we are doing that, definitely we are addressing the three fundamental issues: the challenge of unemployment, the issue of food insecurity, and related issues to do with poverty. So it is important that we need to work together, and I'm happy when you look at the objectives of the program and the presentation, this is very, very critical that this program is bringing together the pioneers of the new agriculture that we would like to see. And we cannot say that agriculture is only for today. Agriculture is the future. But we cannot look at it only in that way. We need to look at it in the way of creating opportunities around agriculture transformation and resilience. And these opportunities will not be created by anybody else. They are going to be created by the people that are listening, because you are the champions. You are the champions of change. And through this discussion, I'm looking forward that you are going to come up with new ideas around food systems. You're going to come up with new ideas of technology commercialization, adaptation, but at the same time, policy influence. Governance is a big challenge across the continent. We need also to understand that the issue of resilience, the climate change, the financing, they all relate around policy. So working with different government institutions at continental level, at regional level, bringing on board the regional economic communities and our member states in the countries where we're coming from, but also leading by example. We need to move out of talking. If we talk about food and we're talking about the food, the African food change maker, then we must walk the talk. And I'm happy through the presentations, you talked about the impact, but I'm very excited to see young people coming together, to see experts coming and joining to be part of this discussion. And it is through information sharing, it is through knowledge sharing, it is through expertise sharing, it is through technology sharing that we can change the continent, we can change today and change for tomorrow. So I want to thank you once again for inviting me. I look forward to continue engaging. AIN is a membership organization. You are welcome to join AIN. And we are ready to collaborate with different institutions. We are ready to continue engaging. And my colleagues online and others, I call upon them to participate. I see a number of Ugandans as well online. You're welcome, and we can engage. As I said, we are operating the 55 member states of Africa. You can reach AIN, visit our website. But I'm very, very happy once again for organizers. I've not heard from Amaka. I think I've had an opportunity to work with Amaka in one of the programs that we're implementing in Congo, and Uganda, and Nigeria. I think she can as well share much. But once again, Patience, Jacqueline, and the rest on the line, thank you so much for organizing this important event. And together, we should be able to make the difference that we wish to see. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much for all of the insights that you have just given. Thank you so much. And one very important question that Prof has asked this afternoon or evening, depending on where you join from, is if you do not have a skill or a product, what are you going to trade? So that's actually the reason why we have come here, to understand collaborations, gain skills, to gain knowledge. And Prof talked a lot about digital innovations, talked about, all of the innovations that have, been incorporated into agriculture. This is the time for us to start harnessing all of these opportunities that are available to us today. And that's actually one of the things that building resilience against climate and environmental shocks seeks to achieve, to enable us build beyond just resilience, but build sustainable and profitable businesses. Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you very much. This is well appreciated. And everybody in the comment section is saying thank you to Prof. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. So before we go to the next speaker, I'll quickly share my screen again and play a video of the BRACE program, just to give you an insight of what the BRACE program looks like. So permit me to share my screen again.
We are delighted that you have made the critical decision to embark on this exciting learning adventure called Brace, Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shocks. This program is designed and implemented by African Food Changemakers with the support of the Skoll Foundation. Over the next 6 weeks, you will gain critical insights into the climate change agenda and why it matters to your agribusiness. Every entrepreneur and every employee of an agri-food business must recognize that climate change is one of the biggest challenges facing us as humanity. The agriculture and food sectors are significant contributors to climate change and also face the brunt of its impact on their businesses. Not only does climate change affect temperatures and water levels, but also causes droughts and floods and exacerbates soil degradation. This ultimately affects farmer productivity levels, fosters pest and disease outbreaks, and leads to higher post-harvest spoilage rates and livestock sickness and deaths. In spite of the stark realities, you can play a critical role in mitigating climate change and also ensuring that your business adopts climate-smart practices and enhances its resilience. This is why your decision to embark on this journey with African Food Changemakers is such an important one. It will definitely make an incredible difference in your life and in your agribusiness. Brace yourself for 6 weeks of self-paced learning, virtual live training sessions, and assessments. Our hope at African Food Changemakers is that this program will equip you with the knowledge, skills, and tools to ensure that your business can become more resilient and even thrive in the face of climate change, and that you ultimately become a climate champion. We look forward to riding this exciting adventure with you to build a sustainable future for the African food ecosystem.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks for listening to that video. Thanks so much for listening. So you just heard from the video, brace up yourself for the next 6 weeks of very extensive learning and sharing from the Brace program. So not to take too much of our time, I'll quickly go to the next speaker for today. Her name is Ifeoma Malo. She's the co-founder and CEO for Clean Technology Hub. So Ifeoma is an energy access expert and a climate action champion. She has over 23 years experience building and directing organizational operations and strategy, supporting startups and MSMEs across Africa. In the past 10 years, she has become a recognized and credible leader in the energy and utility markets, working on the intersection of energy transition, energy markets, climate financing, and climate adaptation markets. She's experienced in political economy, energy policy, developmental economy, climate and environmental sustainability, dispute resolution, process facilitation, and organizational developments. Ifeoma is a seasoned renewable energy market advisor and energy access regulatory and policy expert with a strong track record in gender mainstreaming, innovation, and talent development. She brings extensive experience in research, program development, and monitoring, with a focus on driving decentralized renewable energy solutions across sub-Saharan Africa and advancing climate change mitigation. Our work spans multiple countries, including Nigeria, the USA, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, South Sudan, Ghana, Kenya, Sierra Leone, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, Gambia, South Africa, and Cameroon, where she has provided high-level policy, economic, and strategic consulting services to businesses, governments, and organizations. Ifeoma has led government relations and project management for large and medium-scale electricity grid connected and off-grid projects, offering expertise in economic development, policy formulation, and long-term advisory. Our passion lies in advancing sustainable energy systems that empower communities and foster inclusive growth. So it says sound ovation in the comment section. I know I'm not seeing the sound ovation, but please let's give some round of applause. Let's give some, appreciation in the comment section as I invite this power woman to the virtual stadium. I'm actually very excited because I've listened to her before, and it's an opportunity listening to her, a very great opportunity listening to her again. Thank you so much, Ifoma Malo, for joining this call. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay, hello everybody. Good evening, actually. It's already late in the day here in Abuja. Very rainy day. And I've been given this is the second time I'm speaking to a Brace cohort. I think I spoke to cohort 1, and maybe this is the second time I see that this is cohort 3 or batch 3, I'm not sure. But I've been given the theme or the topic to speak about resilience revenue and building climate smart, tech-enabled agri-businesses. I want to first of all start by telling you about Clean Technology Hub. We're a hybrid hub focused on energy access, climate action, and sustainable entrepreneurship. And under our energy access work, we support productive use of energy for agriculture. So supporting the agri-value chain through productive use of solar, mainly through mini grids and microgrids, but also solar irrigation and solar processing. We also have our climate agri-resilience program, which is how we're building out resilience in our agricultural value chain using climate smart technologies, but also on climate adaptation, looking at the agri value chain and looking at how to help them sort of adapt to the new and changing ways that are more climate smart. Again, adapting technology, but even more importantly, looking at their processing value chain and their service value chain and looking at what can be done differently to help them adapt to the changing climate ecosystem. And so it is in that vein that I think I want to speak to you on how we're doing or how we should do things in Nigeria when we are talking about resilience to revenue. Again, it's a privilege to be speaking to all of you here. Most of the work in climate smart agriculture across Nigeria, especially during our travels and in our programs, we have programs at CleanTech Hub across, I think, 19 states and counting. But when we look at the climate smart agriculture programs, they've been focused on survival. And it's mainly around helping farmers cope with droughts, floods, and unpredictable seasons. But resilience is not enough, right, on its own. It cannot be enough because when the rains return, which we have seen over and over again in Benue, in Plateau, in Anambra, in Ebonyi, and even in Niger State, and even in Zamfara, we've seen increasingly that the crops fail because of the amount of rains that return, and that families still need to borrow income to send children to school. They need to invest in better tools to be able to adapt to the changing climate. And then they need to also think about how to break free from the cycle of vulnerability. So resilience, while it keeps us standing, and revenue, while it moves us forward, the future we're building demands both. And that's where we begin to talk about even adaptation. So, I started by talking about CleanTech Hub and how we work and the states that we work in. But we've seen that some of the most powerful climate solutions are those that strengthen livelihoods. Our approach is simple but transformative. We make adaptation profitable. We make technology accessible. We make growth inclusive. And this is because in our also climate agri program, we see that it is dominated by smallholder farmers. And 80% of the producers, many of them, 80% of the producers, most of them women, are the ones providing 90% of the food we have in Nigeria. Part of the reason that we keep hearing about the coming droughts and the strains on our food system is because this smallholder farmer ecosystem is slowly eroding because of a lot of the climate shocks. We have shrinking harvests, we have rising costs. Earlier this year, for instance, Nigeria spent about 700 million on food imports in just 3 months. This is the first quarter of the year. This was a 40% jump from the previous quarter. What's changed? It's again the sort of climate shocks that happen. We have increasing heats and increasing warming temperatures during the dry season. And then during the wet season, we have floods, we have unpredictable rain patterns. And so we must change that story because our livelihoods and the livelihoods of the farmers that produce our food are at stake. There is a need for, let me even say this because I'll give you practical examples. Cleantech Hub is, revolutionizing agriculture. One of the things we're doing is integrating climate smart practices and renewable energy and digital innovation into core farming systems. And one of the things that we introduced recently is the Agro-Meteorological Advisory Service, which uses weather and climate data to provide localized forecasts through SMS, text messages, through IVR, through radio and mobile apps. Through getting timely information through this medium and integrating it into our local indigenous knowledge systems, it will empower farmers and optimize their planting and harvesting schedules, which will increase yield and income increases of up to 20%. Half of the participants in these initiatives are women and 2/3 are youth, highlighting the inclusive nature of this approach. So what does this mean? It means through this program that we're trying to reach at least 50,000 farmers through SMS, through radio, pre-informing them about climate patterns and letting them know about coming rains and what the weather patterns are going to be in each season. And that way it creates an opportunity for these smallholder farmers to plan. We're also providing opportunities for them to introduce resilience shocks into their systems, especially during the dry seasons when they can actually save seeds and the kind of weather that would enable them save them properly. So a lot of the things that we have in terms of technology in that arena are solar-powered cleans or dryers that can help them dry their produce. One of the things that we're also doing is training indigenous agri-techs to deploy solar power pumps and solar dryers and threshers so that they can reduce post-harvest losses by 30% and improve yields by as much as 35%. We are providing this as a pay-as-you-go model to smallholder farmers, especially those in remote and underserved farming communities. We believe that through these advancements, technology is not only enhancing agricultural productivity, but also promoting sustainability and empowering communities. This initiative supports the National Adaptation Plan of Nigeria and our SDGs, especially SDG 2 on zero hunger and 13 on climate action. Now, how do we get BRACE participants to now begin to think about how to create better revenue and resilience for their programs? First of all, it's through integrating some of these digital tools that we talked about. Take Famatosin, for instance, who's working in the middle of Ondo and growing yams. Ondo State is also one of the states that are known for yam produce. But the problem is with, the heavy rain patterns, his farms get flooded, his yams get rotten, and then he has lost a whole season of yam plantation in that regard. If Famatosin had enough awareness 2 weeks before the heavy rain starts, because what happened in that regard was there were like 2 or 3 weeks of rain, thunderous rain nonstop. But assuming he had 2 weeks notice ahead, he could have pre-harvested those yams and kept them in a cooling area where they can actually dry
Oh, it looks like Madam Ifeoma's network has, kicked her out of the meeting. So please let's hold on for a while to let her join back. So sorry about that, everyone. We're in Africa, and that's how our network is. So please let's hold on for a while. I'm sure she will join back as soon as possible.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, welcome back, ma. We can
So
hear you.
sorry, so sorry. The networks just went off completely. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure where I even stopped. But I think I was telling the story of Farmer Tosin.
Tosin, yes.
Yeah, so Tosin has said if he had enough notice, if he had gotten SMS messages, if he had been able to hear constant warnings, early warnings on radio, he would have been able to pre-harvest his yams, and kept them in a cold room where they can dry out from the moist and everything. But he lost an entire season. And so these are some of the stories of what happens when people don't have the technology or the information that can help them make informed decisions, and that would help them increase their yields and ensure that they have better resilience. Let me also talk about Fatima. Fatima is someone who grows tomatoes in Kano. And again, the rain is a problem for her when it damages her crops. But with Fatima, she's able to get a cold room where she's able to put some of her harvest and be able to ship them out to some of the markets where they are sold. So as a smallholder farmer in her community, they formed the cooperative and bought some solar coolers where they're able to keep fresh produce as they are bringing it out of the soil. They're able to put them in the solar cooler rooms and then be able to ship them down to bigger markets in Kano. This is the opportunity that climate technologies like solar coolers, water pumps, and solar dryers, solar threshes offers to farmers to help them build their resilience, but also to help them increase their yield and their revenue. One thing that we also do here is to have a farmer soil test and resilience seed project where it combines mobile soil testing, farmer training, and access to climate resilient seeds. Lately, there was a big conversation around GMOs, and not to say anything about what GMO means for Nigeria, but it's important that farmers are able to have the democratic autonomy to make decisions about seeds that they have. It will help them make better planting decisions. It will help them make better planning business decisions. And so this is some of the things that our Farmer Soil Test and Resilience Seed Project would address, because it's also going to help them lead to stronger yields and income. My closing remarks on this is that as you go on this your BRACE journey, please remember that you are the sustenance of this country, and not just this country, this market, this African market, and the continent. Nigeria can feed itself. And the only reason I say that is because of farmers and agri and food processors like you on the call. Nigeria has every opportunity to be able to create a ladder for growth for a smallholder farmers. Ask yourself, will this make money for the farmer, and will it keep revenue in the community anytime you're about to engage in any new technology or any new farming product or any other new any other new agric business? Because the truth is, one of the things we had changing through this BRACE program is the idea that farming is not business. It is one of the biggest businesses in the world. And when you add resilience to it, you generate revenue. It becomes self-sustaining. You can empower an entire community. You can send thousands of people to schools. Because when farmers thrive, agriculture becomes a driver of national prosperity. So I encourage you to commit to all of the innovations, some of them that I've talked about, think about how to partner with each other for scale, and think about solutions that will deliver both climate resilience and economic empowerment. Working together, with several other ecosystems across the agri value chain, you can transform agriculture across Africa. I thank you for this time. My name is Ifoma Malo, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Clean Technology Hub. You can check us out on social media with Clean Technology Hub, or Google us, you'll see our website. Thank you very much. Lastly, I wanted to say that we also run accelerator programs, and we've also had a good success of people who applied in the agri-food chain. So as much as possible, please continue to look out for opportunities on our social media and our website if you're interested in growing your agri business. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. It's so interesting listening to you. Yet again, I have gained a lot of insights just by listening to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much, Ma, for all of the insights that you've given to us. And most times, one of the things I learned, I like listening to you, your practicability, all of the giving examples, real life examples that people can really relate to it. Thank you so much for that. And like Madam Ifoma has said, if you're thinking innovation, think about its profitability as well as its sustainability. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. So quickly, before we get to the next agenda, I would like us to take a snapshot with our keynote speakers. It is a practice for us here in Brace to take pictures with our keynote speakers in case one of our participants from Uganda meets Madam Ifoma one of these days in the US, show the picture and say, yes, I know you from the Brace program. So please, let's put on our videos and our very beautiful smiles and take pictures together with our keynote speakers. Thank you so much, everyone, for putting up your videos. I'm trying to see if our videos are on so that my team members can take the pictures for us. So we're taking the pictures now so that if our keynote speakers have other things they want to do, we don't take too much of their time. Thank you so much, everyone, for putting up your videos. I can see so many videos on and so many beautiful smiles. I wish I can just call your names, but most of you are joining with Nokia's Apple product and all manner of products, so I'm not able to, call your name. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. But please, you can rename yourself so that I'm able to, just mention your name. Thank you so much, my team members, taking the pictures that we need. And also, you can also take pictures from your head, take screenshots from your hand, just have evidence from this session. It's actually very important that you have an evidence in case you meet any of our speakers anyway. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Professor Alex Ario and Madam Ifoma Malo. Thanks so much for joining this call. We so much appreciate you. Thank you so much. And yes, this is the second time Madam Ifoma is coming for the Brace program, and we really do not take this for granted. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you, Prof, as well. Thank you, appreciate it. So quickly, I'll share my screen again, and this time around, we'll be talking about Brace. So I know most of you have been wondering what we're going to be doing with Brace, how Brace works and all of that. So this is the time where we get to help you understand all of the Brace program, the 6 weeks that we've talked about, how it works, and all of the things that have happened in the past with Brace and the others that will happening in the future. So this is the opportunity. This is the time you need to relax and learn about the Brace program so that you don't keep sending us emails and asking what Brace is. This is the time that you learn about it. So I'll just share my screen again, and yes, we quickly go into Brace. Okay. Okay, yes. So to talk about the Brace program is the my very coordinator of the BRACE program. Don't worry, you'll be having to talk to her so many times in the near future. And so this is just an introduction from her. And yeah, so quickly, the coordinator for the BRACE program is Amaka Chime. She has actually been coordinating this program for a very long time. Don't worry, she'll get to tell you herself. And you understand why I said for a very long time, because it's not been easy. So quickly, I would leave the virtual podium to the coordinator of the BRACE program, Amaka Chime, to talk to us more about BRACE. Thank you so much. Hi, Amaka.
Hi, Patience. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon to everyone on this call from Nigeria. I'm happy to have you all here. And thank you so much, Prof. and Madam Ifoma, for that insightful keynotes. You've really done justice to what BRACE is all about and what it entails about when we talk about building resilience against climate. Thank you so much for that insight. So I'm going to introduce BRACE. BRACE means building resilience against climate and environmental shocks. So basically, next slide, Patience. Okay, thank you. So BRACE is an intensive capacity development program that supports agripreneurs, that's SMEs like you, in the agribusiness landscape to be aware of how their business are affected by climate change and to enable them to develop strategies to adapt and mitigate the impact of climate change through climate smart agricultural adoption and tapping into the climate financing opportunities. So here in the BRACE program, we leverage a hybrid learning whereby we engage agripreneurs through trainings. That's the 6-week program that we are going to do virtually. And then we proceed to mentorship program where we align you with a mentor that have wealth of experience and knowledge when it comes to climate smart agriculture to guide you, to handhold and mentor you. And during the course of your 6 weeks training, we are going to also do what we call live interactive sessions, whereby we bring industry experts to deepen your understanding of the knowledge you've learned in the portal. And then we have the practical applications, that's the study visits, where we usually have the physical engagements as well. As you can see in the picture there, is during our visit in Malawi early this year. So basically, the objective of this BRACE program is for us to enhance the capacity of 3,000 agri-SMEs, equip them to build resilience to climate change and establish sustainable agribusinesses. A lot of you, when we mention climate change, what goes in mind is that, is the changing weather, is because of emissions from industries and all of that, not knowing that even in your own little way in your farm, you're also contributing to climate change. You finish this planting season this year and you want to start next year, you start burning the waste you used in the last season, instead of you to use it for composting or for mulching, So these little things can actually contribute to climate change without you not being aware of it. You are packaging your produce and you are using nylon that they can't degrade. And then after using it, drop it on the floor. Those things limit the aeration of the soil and it affects the production as well and also cause environmental issues in the country or in the continent. So these are the things and many more we want to open your eyes to, as little as they are, that you don't know that it affects the climate change. So the BRACE program will highlight all those operations that you are doing that you don't even know that is affecting the environment, and give you and develop strategies that will work for you, in your own context, in your own country, and you'll be able to, find a way to mitigate those climate issues, and also how to adapt so that you can be able to scale your production and of course make more profits and create more jobs for other people on the line. So that's basically what this program is: provide understanding of climate change and its impact on your business, to develop strategies, like I mentioned earlier, that will help you to tackle those climate-related challenges, and to facilitate the creation and implementation of those mitigation strategies that you use in your business, of course, to boost your business performance and, of course, create your profitability, increase your profitability and create more jobs. And of course, we also help to expose you to so many climate finance options that you can tap into, so you can have more funds to scale and adopt those innovations. So for you to be a BRACE program, there are things we look at least you are 18 years and above. your business is in Africa and you're an African. So BRACE program is our own, is an African program. And again, you also have your business in Africa. Even if you go to Europe and come back and do other things, but your business has to be in Africa. And these are the things we look out for while we are selecting you. I will still show you the statistics of how we did the selections and number of people that applied and all of that. Next slide, Patience, please. So the next slide, we're going to talk about the journey so far, what we've been able to achieve over time. So the BRACE program was launched on the 6th April 2023. And to date, we've been able to graduate 2,285 participants. Remember, we're looking at 3,000. So your set is going to also top up the number and we continue training more people. And out of these 2,285 participants that we've trained, we have 100% youth and 31% women across 43 African countries. So we've actually covered a lot of countries. And with the remaining few countries to make up to the 54 countries we have in Africa, we're definitely going to cover it soon. But I think it's a huge milestone for us to reach out to 43 African countries. So we've been able to have, out of these 2,285 participants that we've trained, 45% have recorded increase in business efficiency among them, and 40% of them have adopted climate resilient practices and scaling of food production using suitable methods. 43 of them have been able to reduce their waste and improve resource efficiency, and that have actually contributed in creating about 1,539 new jobs in their businesses. And we constantly achieve 85% satisfaction rate from BRACE participants. As we are training, we also ask our participants, how are we doing it, so that we can also track our own, we can also track our own performance to see if we are delivering what we are meant to deliver. And over time, participants have been rating us above 70, 85%, I believe is a good percentage rating. And again, today we've been able to host study visits, like I mentioned earlier, in nine locations in Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Ghana, and Malawi, where we hosted 342 participants. And also have another event where we train our participants on monitoring and evaluation and gender inclusion workshop in Abuja and Lagos, and our 301 participants. This is just to show you that it's not just about virtual learning. We also leverage on both physical and virtual engagements. And these are some of the engagements we've done so far. You can see in the picture, the guys in the greenhouse this happened in Kenya, Merama Foundation International in Kenya. That was last year, December, where we host about 50 BRACE participants in an agricultural climate facility innovation center. And they were able to learn, they were able to see the practical aspect of climate agriculture, for them to know that it's not just about talking the theory, there is also where these innovations are being done. And this actually enhanced the adoption. And that's why we're having this in number of percentage of people that have adopted climate resilient practices. And the second picture down there is the session we had in Lagos and Abuja during the M&E workshop, because we also want our participants to understand the importance of measuring their performance, evaluating their operations, and also for them to what they should actually measure. Because I'm operating, I wouldn't know if what I'm doing is in the right track. Is it actually reducing or creating more emission in the system? So we expose them to information around that, and also things they should look out for to ensure that they manage and utilize resources very well, and they are able to measure their performances as well, so that they can say, oh, I was in point A before, now I'm in point B, so that they can be able to know if they're actually getting a lot through the BRACE program and the impact in their businesses as well. So again, we've been able to share funding opportunities to our BRACE alumni network. And like when we see grants and opportunities they can tap into, like I mentioned earlier, we always share those opportunities. And over time, about many more BRACE alumni have secured over 5,000 funding. Some of them will even come to us that they need our support to apply for grants. We'll guide them, develop business plan, or guide them to develop the grant so that they can be able to be bankable and, have an edge. Because of course, this grant is not just for few people, it's competitive, but when they are properly guided, they'll be able to position well to earn it. So these are the things we also help our BRACE alumni to do as well. And again, like I mentioned earlier, we leverage media and publicity platforms to showcase and promote our participants' success stories and climate-smart agricultural practice they are doing. So with the goal of influencing practical policies that will help them to continue to adopt climate-smart agriculture. So basically, we've been able to secure speaking engagement. For instance, during the UN Congress meeting last year, 2 of our BRACE participants was able to speak in a global stage. And we are the ones that connected them to this stage where they were able to speak. They talk about what the impact of BRACE, and also they were opportune to discuss their business to the global, so people can hear them. It's also help in terms of visibility to show their works and what they are doing out there. And again, during so many events and workshops, we've been able to expose our participants to speak so that the people we actually know the impact of raising their businesses and things they've done around climate smart agricultural practices. Again, we've also spotlighted 100 participants and many more. We keep spotlighting them through our Instagram series and other AFC social media platforms. And recently, we're able to do a case study, more like a case study, where we share our participant studies in a national television in Malawi, and it was aired, and people were able to listen to see the impact of BRACE in agri-SMEs businesses, and our participants were able to talk on what they've been able to achieve, how their business efficiency was increased, how they were able to bring in more workers, more staffs in their agribusiness. They started as one-man business, but because of the operations they have put in place, they are better informed, they utilize their resources, and they are making more profits, and they are now gaining. And because they are scaling their businesses, they are bringing more people on board. So you'll be able to tell their stories in the national TV in Malawi. And we constantly visit farms. We don't just do virtual, we visit farms. We want to see what we are doing. So I'll also indulge you from today after the BRACE program to start practicing, start from little, and then you move on to the next. At least at your level, if you're not doing any climate smart agriculture, we can at least start with composting. I mean, composting is just you gathering your waste and manage it. And you can even use it to proceed to producing biochar, biogas, and the likes. I know it's setting up irrigation system and all of them can be so expensive, but what about using drought resistant seeds, improve varieties and all of that? These are the ones you can start now, and then you continue from there to progress. So it's not something that happens overnight that you have it all in place, but you can start small so that whenever we schedule visits in your location and we are coming to visit you, we'll be impressed. We see a lot of things, and that's when we'll be impressed and take your story out there. Like the participant that went to US and Congress Assembly that were able to talk. We don't just pick them, we pick them because of the performances, what they've done so far in terms of adopting climate smart agricultural practice. So as you are being onboarded today, take it serious, learn, and then try as much as you can to start practicing it in your farm. The end game is for you to, produce in a climate resilience manner and to scale your food production using sustainable methods. Thank you so much for that. Then Patience, next slide, let's continue. So now this is the application statistics. Like I mentioned earlier, we received 2,210 applications and we selected 2,096. So some people were dropped because they did not meet the criteria that I did mention earlier. Like some people outside Africa registered, their business are not registered. Some of them are still in school and all that. So we're able to drop some of them because they didn't meet up the criteria. And from our statistics, we have 37% female and 63% male. Again, by disaggregation by agribusiness, majority of you are from crop production, followed by animal production, and then processing and packaging, and lastly is forestry. Distribution by value chain, we have majority of you also in production, followed by processing and packaging, and then aggregation, followed by processing and packaging, aggregation, followed by logistics and distribution, and then others. Some of you did not mention where they belong to, and then lastly is aggregation and retail, marketing, and consumption. So we, like I said, receive application from different countries, about 43 African countries, but the top 10 that we have is Nigeria, followed by South Africa, followed by Kenya, Malawi, Uganda, Ghana, Zambia, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Democratic Republic of Congo. These are the top 10 participant locations, but we have other ones from other places, Morocco, Tunisia, Cameroon, and the rest. But for now, these are the top 10 that we have. So next is the program components and the expectation from participants. So the first thing that we're going to do is that after today, we're going to give you access to our learning portal. We're going to share it via your email. And once you receive it, we'll give you the login details, the link for you to use and log in. Your username is your email address, while the password we provide that for you. So immediately you log in, the first thing that will pop up is for you to take diagnostic tool. The pre-diagnostic tool is just for us to measure your awareness, your current awareness to climate change and how the agribusiness is positioned. And after the 6-week training, you finish your course, your modules, write the assignments, join the live interactive session, and then we give you access to download your certificate. You take the post-diagnostic tool first before you download your certificate. So it's more like pre and post. The pre is to measure your current understanding of climate change. And the post is that now you've gone through the BRACE program, you are more informed, you are more aware. Let's also check your status if you've been able to take home some things while you are learning in the portal. So this helps us to measure your level of awareness before and after. So that's the first thing you would do immediately you log in the portal. So as immediately you log in, you have 6 modules that have 6 different topics. And like Patience mentioned earlier, it's self-paced. We understand that agribusiness, you people are busy in so many things. You have your activities you do, you have your business and all of that. So we can't just time you or fix you to a time. That's why we make it open. When you are back from your business, you can just go to your reading table and watch the video. It's a recorded video that industry experts have actually done justice to the topic of climate change and its impact in your agribusiness production, be it processing, be it logistics, be it fabrication, be it marketing. It's cut across all value chain. So it's a 6 module that deal with all these topics that will revolve around climate smart agricultural practices, and then the policies around it and the climate opportunities you can actually tap into, and the situation in terms of policy and the gender participation and all of that. So it's a loaded module, it's a loaded curriculum that you really enjoy. I'm assuring you're going to enjoy it. So each module, if you finish module 1, ensure to take your assignments and your assessments. And while you finish, you move to say module 2. You do the same thing, you move to module 3, module 4, module 5, module 6. Before we'll ask you about the module content, how was your journey through the learning? And next is for you to do the post-diagnostic tool. Then you'll have access to your certificate, be able to download your certificate. But while you are learning in the portal, like now, we are starting the first live interactive session on next week, Friday. So week 1 starts from tomorrow to next week, Friday. We allow you to learn in the portal, but every Friday we all convene, just like we are today in this session, this webinar session, where we have a general house that we share our experience while learning in module 1. You share your experience, what's your takeaway and all of that. And then we invite an industry expert that have knowledge of module 1, what module 1 talk about. And the industry expert will give you deep understanding of that module 1. So they'll make a small presentation on that topic, and then they will entertain questions. That's the time you have to ask questions about what you learn in module, and even make suggestions of maybe there is something you feel that have worked somewhere. You can make suggestions, you can contribute. Is actually a kind of interactive session. That's why it's called live interactive session. So the speaker will explain deeper what you've learned in the module, and you will have the opportunity to ask questions and even contribute to the subject matter. So after then, we go back and start learning module 2. Then we meet again the upper Friday with a live interactive session where we bring on board another industry expert that have knowledge of module 2, and then we discuss. So we continue like that till we end to module 6. And then we do the M&E session, and we close that for live interactive sessions. But please ensure that you submit all assignments designed to help you adapt climate smart agricultural practices. Some of the assignments we even give you assignment to go and do some case studies of your location, what is obtainable in your context. Maybe you're in Uganda, what is happening in your own location. So you can do the assignment and come back and submit it, right? But assessment, take the assessment for each module. Before you be able to move to the next, you need to take the assessment and also the assignments. It's very important that you do that so you can be able to gain your certificate, because these are the things that will qualify you to gain your certificate. So once you graduate, you'll be able to download your certificate. That's when we go to the technical phase. The technical phase is just the physical engagements, like the study visit I did mention earlier. We've been able to cover Malawi, like I mentioned. We covered Lagos in Nigeria, Abuja in Nigeria, Kano State in Nigeria, and Ibadan in Nigeria. And then for Ghana, we're able to cover Ghana last year, Kenya, Malawi, and then we are planning so many locations very after now. And if you're able to finish early, of course, you'll be able to join this study visit, because the only thing that qualifies you to attend this physical engagement is that you graduate and earn your certificate from our program. If you did not graduate, yes, everybody is on board, but it's only people that graduate and that earn that certificate will enjoy all these benefits that we're going to come after the learning portal. Then we have what we call the mentorship program, like I mentioned at the beginning of my introduction presentation. The mentorship program basically, just like the name goes, is just bringing the mentee and the mentor together and align them. We are the ones that we select the mentors and then also pick up our participants, because not everybody that wants to be mentor, but those that have indicated interest that they want to be mentors. So we are going to, merge them together and they will start learning. It's a one-on-one kind of mentorship where you have the opportunity to ask all the questions from your mentor, to ask all the challenges they've overcome over time in adopting climate-smart agriculture, what works for them, the innovations they've put in place, what they know, and all the things they've done so far that help them scale in their own agribusiness. Because when we are identifying these mentors, we look at their own background as well. People that have thrived and they are doing very well in their agribusinesses, or industry experts that relate with farmers and have first-hand information on how to mitigate climate-smart issues and also how to adapt. So these are the kind of people we bring on board. So in terms of knowledge and information, they have all the information and knowledge. So it's an opportunity. In fact, most mentees enjoy it so much, and majority of the mentees are always interested to be mentored. So it's also an opportunity for you to ask questions to, sometimes you do things, but you wouldn't know who to ask or the right person to write. And then now we are channeling you to the right person that have all the practical experience in the field that can guide you. And they are all currently in business as well. So they can even expose you to opportunities they've been able to gain so far and expose you to input suppliers that they deal with as well. So you can also tap from there, because getting a good source in terms of your agribusiness is very important. Imagine you are a maize farmer and you keep getting seeds that are not okay every month or every season. You keep complaining because you're not using the right seed. We are not using improved variety. We are not using drought resistant seed and all of that. And if there's any small attack in the farm or any disease outbreak, it will just affect your animal or it will affect your products in the field. So these are the things you can benefit from your mentor. Then again is the M&E activities, where we share your climate-smart agriculture adoption journey. After the 6 weeks of it, the 7th week is the M&E session. We guide you on how you report your performance, how you can report your growth, your challenges, your proficiency increase, and then your job, whatever you've done so far after adopting. We keep deploying surveys and ask you, and sometimes we visit your farm, like I mentioned earlier, to even evaluate your CSA practices, what they are doing in the field and all of that. So that's the M&E part. Is also good for you to know the importance of measuring your performance, and also good for us to measure the performance of our BRACE participants so that we can be able to know what we are doing right and continue doing it, and what we are not doing right that we need to also change to make it better. Again, please note that only participants who complete the full program requirement, like I did mention, we receive formal certificate of participation and benefit from ongoing support that AFC offers. So moving forward is just to celebrate our funders. We have a number of them. The major funders of this program is the SCO Foundation, but we have other program partners that we work with, like the Climate Action Africa. We have the Landemio partners, and then we have the Sahel Consulting partners. And next is the faculty members. I mentioned earlier that we have a lot of faculty members that we are going to be meeting. These are some of them that you are going to meeting. As you can see, some of them are agribusiness owners, some of them are industry experts, like even just like the prof that spoke to us today and Madam Informa that spoke to us today. There are people that have first-hand information that have been in the field and they are really delivering well. So I urge you all, as next is to unveil you to this cohort. I urge you all to continue to, start learning and take this journey very serious. It's really very serious to us and very serious to you as an agri-SMEs in Africa. And I assure you that by the end of this program, you'll be able to testify the impact you will gain so far from the BRACE. Thank you, everyone, and over to you, Patience.
Thank you so much, Amaka. Thank you. Just listening to the BRACE Powerhouse. If you have any questions, please, she'll be waiting to answer all your questions later. So quickly, this is the time where we get to unveil the participants. Are you ready to be unveiled? Yes, so to do this, we have the honor of the executive chair at African Food Changemakers to help us unveil our participants today. And yes, this is the boss of the bosses at African Food Changemakers. And yeah, it's a great privilege. I really want to shout and, jump and be excited. You better be excited in the comment section because you don't see this person every day. And so it's an opportunity a great privilege to have him unveil you. Like, it's a special privilege. We do not take it for granted. So to quickly introduce him, he's a business leader and agribusiness expert with over 12 years of experience in supporting the key actors in the African agriculture and food ecosystem to build resilient business models to achieve food system sustainability. He's currently the executive chair for African Food Changemakers and the managing partner at Sahel Consulting Agriculture and Nutrition Limited. His deep-seated passion and commendable professional trajectory have earned him a reputation as a seasoned strategist and astute project manager, expertly guiding the company through the complex terrains of client engagement, project execution, and overall strategic direction. Temi is passionate about agriculture and has worked extensively within the food systems in Africa and across a broad range of value chains. Temi holds a Master of Science in Agronomy from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, and received his undergraduate degree in Plant Science from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Nigeria. He also holds an MBA from the Lagos Business School. He's also an alumnus of the Center for African Leaders in Agriculture, CALA. He has completed executive leadership programs at several global institutions, including the IES E-Business School and Harvard Kennedy School. His name is Temi Adegoroye, the executive chair at African Food Changemakers. Let me see your clap in the comment section as I leave the virtual podium for our executive chair at African Food Changemakers. Good evening, sir.
Thank you very much, Patience. Good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome, sir.
Fantastic. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone in the meeting, depending on where you are in the world. I want to say a big thank you to all of the previous speakers who have spoken in one capacity or the other in this unveiling session, special session. Thanks so much to Prof, to Ifeoma, the keynote speakers, and thanks to the entire team at African Food Changemakers for also putting together these very fantastic events. Thank you very much, Amaka. I call Professor Amaka for expertly really presenting all of it about all we have about BRACE. I think I would say that I'm very honored to be speaking here at this unveiling. And just to add, I know it's a lot has been said already, but talking about BRACE, it's a very, very important program that is particularly dear to my heart. And I said it's dear to my heart because as we've said in several fora, climate change has now become a part of us. We live with it. We're seeing the effects everywhere around us. And it doesn't matter what you do and where you are. It's a phenomenon we have to take very seriously. And as businesses, as entrepreneurs in the African food ecosystem, we definitely need to understand the impact of climate change on our businesses, our practices, and how the right steps, practices we need to adopt to ensure that we could actually, understand the impact of our businesses on the climate, but also understand, what we need to do to ensure that we reduce the footprint, and also what we need to do to harness all of the opportunities that are, daring for us as, as businesses and, as entrepreneurs within this ecosystem. So thank you so much for all that have been said so far. And I think it's my singular honor to help unveil this next cohort of the BRACE program, the third batch of BRACE 2025. Can I see the names of the participants in this cohort on the screen as we unveil? So we have a lot of Thank you very much. So you see, we have many, many wonderful people from all over the continent. I want to say you're welcome, welcome to you all. You're welcome to the BRACE program. Let me also lend my voice to what Amaka said earlier, that please take this program very seriously. You're in for very interesting sessions in the next 6 weeks. And we're rooting for you all. We're hoping that at the end of this program, you'll be able to actually clearly measure the impact of the program, in your businesses, and how you've been able to be able to secure additional skills, to improve your climate smart practices within your agribusinesses, within your farm operations. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Congratulations to you all. I'm passing it back to you now, Patience. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Timmy. Thank you once again for coming to unveil our participants today. Thank you so much. We understand that we don't have this privilege every day, so we take it really with a great honor that we have you here in our midst. Thank you so much. So quickly, we'll be going to the portal walkthrough, because it's a dedicated portal where you'll be having or doing your set-paced learning. You need to also learn about how the portal works. And so we'll be having our colleague in the ICT department to take us through the portal walkthrough for you to understand how the portal looks like when you log in, what you're expected to see, and how it's going to be working for you. Before we go into the Q&A, I know most of you have questions, and yes, we're going to answer all your questions. But before that time, let's quickly have our colleague show you how the portal works, so that we can go through the question and answers together. So quickly, I'm calling on Victory Omoyibo, a web developer at African Food Changemakers, to take us through the portal walkthrough. Hi, Victory, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm on the call. Good evening. Good day, everyone.
Your audio is not very clear. I don't know if it's from my end, but I can barely hear you.
Okay, can you hear me very clearly now?
There is the background noise. It's really... Maybe you should talk again and let's check that.
think it should be clearer now. Can you hear me now?
It's not clear. Please, if you can hear him, please let's see it in the comment section. So I'm sure that I am not. Oh, the audio is not good. So yeah, participants are saying the audio is not good. Please help us enhance the audio so that we can do that. Okay. Let's see.
Okay. I think it's clear now.
It's clear, but it's now very low. I don't know if you are using an earpiece, maybe you might have to remove it, and it's now very low.
Unmute your own device. Unmute it. Unmute my own.
I muted this one then. It's quite deep. All right, please, sorry for this technical glitch. I think it should be clearer now.
Okay,
Can you
I
hear
think
me?
it's a bit better now, but you might have to project a little bit so that we can hear you louder, but it's a bit
Okay.
clearer.
Yeah, of course I will do that. All right, good day, everyone. Thank you, Temi. Thank you, Amaka. So Amaka has actually done a lot, has given us the theoretical part. So I will be taking you through the portal walkthrough where you'll be doing the learning. So let's dive into our portal as I share my screen. Okay, please confirm that you can see my screen from your end.
Yes, I can see your screen, Victor.
Okay, so after the session today, we are going to be sending you an email that will contain your password and your password. Then it is that password that you use to log into the portal where you'll be doing your learning. So it will also contain the link through which you will log in. So assuming that this is the link sent to me, I'm now going to enter it on this tab and click enter. So this is the login page that will come up based on the link that will be sent. So I already have my email. This is the email I use to register for the program. So for your part, this email will be the one that you use while registering for the program, when you register for the program. Then the password, it will be sent to you via email after this very onboarding. So please look out for it. So I'm now going to log in. So I'll click login. Okay, so after clicking login, this is the first part that will show, which contains my details. So by the time you log in, this part will contain your details you imputed while registering for the program. So I'll click next so that I will go to the next page. So this next page contains a little instruction about what you are going to see next. So here now is telling you that the next thing is to fill the pre-diagnostic tool, which are questions that you need to answer for us to know how you know about climate smart practices. So I will click start. For the sake of this onboarding, I have actually filled answer some of the questions, to this very percentage, this 93%, so that we will not waste our time. So I will continue from here. Then after which we'll log into the portal. So the first question here now, say, do you practice water recycling and reuse on your farm? So for me, I would say yes, but please, while answering these questions, answer them based on what you actually practicing now in your farm or your business. So answer them to the best of your knowledge, don't lie. So yes, so I'll click yes, then I'll click next. So the next question, improper water management can cause disaster like flooding, erosion, yes. Okay, so let's go. Say, have you heard of carbon markets like climate financing carbon credit. Yes, so let's go. So have you benefited from carbon credit before? Before? No. Okay, so the next one, do you know how to calculate your carbon footprint? No. Okay, so for us to be fast, I will be clicking next. Then, okay, so I've completed all the answering all the questions. Then the next thing here now is log into Learning Portal. So I will click log into Learning Portal now. Okay, so once you are done with that, it will return you back to this login page. So with the email that you've used to sign up and the password sent to you, you click again, login. So I'm clicking now to login. Wonderful. So we are now here on our portal. So this is the portal where you'll be doing all your learning. So by the left side, you will see our logo, you will see the sidebar, what is on it, the dashboard, the modules, the assessment history, top scholar, self-help, settings, logout. Then at the top here, you'll be seeing the, excuse me, please. Okay, you'll be seeing the English and the French. So if it is English that you understand better, by default, when you log into the portal, everything is in English. Then if it is French that you understand better, you can toggle it to French and everything on the portal will be switched to French. But for the sake of this onboarding, I'm taking it back to English. Okay, then by the right here, you have the icon which carry your name and also okay, and your account settings. Okay, so by the time you scroll down on this dashboard, this page that loads up here, you see that you have total of what 6 modules to complete and a total of 39 courses. Then each course, so let me click on this module that is here now. There are different courses on each module. So by the time you complete a particular module, at the end, you are meant to take an assessment. So as you take that assessment, it will be counted here, and this is your assessment history. So by the time you click assessment history, you'll be seeing it here. All right, this is for a large screen, but let me switch it to a mobile version so that you see how it may look when you log in from your mobile devices. So let me turn it to mobile. So for a mobile device, this is how it looks. So for the navigation links, by the time you click on this toggle, you will see them here. So you have the dashboard, the modules, the assessment as we saw in the last screen. So it's all the same. So you click outside, it goes back. You click on it again, it's open. So I will take it back to the last screen so we do the other part. Okay, so let me go now to modules. So it's coming up. So we have 6 modules here, and until you finish, once you finish a particular one, that's when the next one will be unlocked. So the first one is open. It means that this is the first one that you must take. You cannot jump to the next one until you are done with all the, the courses that are inside this module. So let me click on this module and let us see the courses that are inside. So you can see the first one is introduction, and you cannot even, proceed to the next course until you are done with the first course. So that is how the portal is built. So let me click on the very first one here, which is introduction. So let me click, let's play this one. So this is
hello.
Playing.
Well,
so it's playing now and it is in English. So you can toggle it to French if it is French that you understand better. So there's a toggle here at the top, left side. So I will toggle it now to French. So if I toggle it to French, the video will be switched to the French version of what was playing before. So let me play it.
Bonjour, bienvenue. Je m'appelle Brace et je serai votre navigateur.
All right, so that's that. So you can switch, to any version depending on what the language you understand better. Also, please, for the sake of this, you taking these courses, it is very important that you get a note by your side, get a pen, to take note of what you'll be learning, because you are learning and you have to apply what you are learning to your business, to your agriculture, to what you do, to achieve maximum yield. That is the essence of, praise. So looking at the right part here, you see course discussion. So course discussion here, you can, if you have any question, you have anything, any concern, you have an idea or relating to the course that you want to share, you can share it here on this course discussion part. So you can see what others have shared here before. So yes, you can collaborate here with people, your participants, people that are also onboarded, to this very cohort, and yeah, so you can do that. So let me now go back. So once you are done with the introduction, this very first course, you cannot proceed to the next one. Then once you are done with everything, all the courses on this module, you'll be able to take the assessment. So once you are done with the assessment, it will be recorded in your assessment history, as we saw on the dashboard earlier. Then each week, we have what we call a top, okay, let's get there first. So I will be going back now to assessment. So as you are taking the assessment for each course, you'll be seeing the assessment history here and your score, the cumulative score. It will be generated on this very page. So you can see it here by the time you click on assessment history. Also, let's move down to top scholars. So every week we usually have our top scholars, and if you happen to be one, that is, you score 100 over 100, or you score highest. Let's say, even though it's not up to 100, but you are among the top 40 that comes highest, like up to 100 or 90 something. So you'll be captured here. Yes, you'll be the first people that that up to 40 that scores the highest will be captured on this very page. So please do your best to take the courses, in a way that you understand what is being taught. Take note, and so that by the time you're answering all the questions, you will answer them correctly, and you'll be captured on this very page. We want to see your face here. All right, so let's move down to the next one here. We have the self-help. So for the self-help, this page contains videos that will guide you in case you have any issue using this very portal. Although you may not have any issue, but if you have any issues in any part of this website, please do well to come here first. Look for the one that is related to what you are facing. So this one is just a general introduction. Then the next one is the pre-diagnostic tool, which we did before we log into the portal. Then the next one here is module course and assessment. So this one, I think this is where, if you have any issue, this is where you need to come to, so that you'll be able to get answers to your questions, if at all you have any. Then for the next one, which is assessment history and setting. So this one too contains that. So if you look towards the bottom, this part where you have need help, send an email. So if after going through all these videos and your issue is not solved, please send us an email at brace@afchub.org, and definitely we'll reach out to you immediately to help you out. So the next one here is the settings page. So on this settings page, you have your account settings. So you have your image. So you need to upload your image immediately you log in. Then for the password and the confirm password. So this very part, the password we are sending to you after this onboarding is is for you to just log into the portal. Then we advise that after logging into the portal, the first thing you need to do, come over here to these settings and change it to the password that you want to use, the one that you'll be able to remember easily. So change it to your own personal password and update. Please do that after receiving our email and after you have logged in. Okay, so the next one here, so it is on this right part top, you still have everything on the account setting is still on this drop down. So that is all for now. I think I've been able to cover every part of the portal, and if at all you have any questions, please do well to bring it up, and the moderator will answer it. All right, thank you so much. Let me log out now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Victory. Thank you so much. We appreciate this. Our time is so fast spent, and I know that we have lots of questions. But then let's permission to have like 5 more minutes. Let's just use 5 more minutes to clarify some questions that you may have. So in 5 minutes, let's have 1 or 2 persons raise their hand to ask questions. Please go straight to the point so that we'll have more people ask their questions in 5 minutes. So I saw some questions in the comment section. Let me just quickly talk about them so that if you have those questions, you won't have to raise your hand again. So someone was asking whether the schedule for the live interactive sessions will be sent. Yes, we are going to be sending you the link to access the portal as well as the default password. So when we send that to you, you click on the link and then put in your email as the username, just like what you see my colleague did with the portal. So once you put in your email as the username, you use the default password that we have sent to you, impute it as a password, and click login. You'll be able to log in into the portal. But the first thing you will see, just like you have been told, is the pre-diagnostic tool, which you have to answer first. After answering that, you'll be able to log into the learning portal and start learning. So we're going to send these links to you this weekend so that you can start learning before Friday next week, which is our next live interactive session. We're going to have our first live interactive session on Friday next week by this same time, 3 p.m. GMT +1. So that's when we're going to have our first live interactive session, and it's going to be on module 1. So after that, we'll have the next one, which is module 2. So every week, Friday, we'll be having our live interactive sessions. And to be able to go to the next module when you are in the portal, if you have done module 1, to be able to access module 2, you need to write the assessment. So the assessment is compulsory for you to go to the next module, though the assignment is a practical learning experience for you, which does a lot of case studies, just like Amaka mentioned when she was talking. It's about case studies and all that. So it's not compulsory, but it is necessary for you to, gain more understanding and knowledge of your field and what you do. But the assessment is compulsory for you to go to the next module. All right, thank you so much. Chidima Oyoyo, please, I'm asking you to unmute and ask a question. All right, Chidima, are you there? I'm asking you to unmute.
Yes, I'm there. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Chidima is my name. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I'm so delighted that I'm here to learn. So please, my question is relatively concerning the uploading of the document, that's the signed document. So I tried to upload it inside the space, downloaded space. It couldn't download. That was why I was not able to send in my picture and stuff. I minimized it and did everything. It wasn't able to upload. So I don't know how I can be able to.
All right. So for that, if you're not able to upload it on the link that we have sent, please send it directly to the email. Just send it as a response to the Braze email. We'll see it there and take it up there. Then for the pictures, we have a generate your DP link that will be sending to each and every one of you. to be able to generate a link, a picture for yourself to be able to display to the world that you are participating in the Brace program. So when we are sending you the login details, which we will do as soon as possible, we'll send you the link as well so that you can generate a link for yourself with your picture in it to be able to post in your social media pages. As a matter of fact, you can tag us when you do some of these postings. We really want to see it and want to reshare as well. So we'll send you that link to be able to generate your DPs and your pictures for yourself. You really, necessarily do not need to send the pictures again and all that, but you can generate DPs. Thank you so much. Frederick, please go ahead. We have so many answers. Why? And I said 5 minutes. 5 minutes is gone. Okay, Frederick, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Patience. Yeah, this is Frederick Auma. I'm from Kenya. We are running an aquaculture enterprise called the Jumbo Fish Farm, whereby we interact with farmers.
Oh, please, Frederick, let's just quickly go to this question so that we'll get more time to answer other people. Sorry.
All right. So based on the portal or the modules, is there any number of times or number of attempts that a participant can take, or so long as you have the whole week, you can have the attempts? Is it time bound? Is the course duration limited within a given period of time? Then number three, when is there any score that has been set for the modules that evaluate one to perform or can proceed to the next module, or is just a matter of once I'm done with the first module, I can proceed to the next module? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great questions. Great questions. So for the portal, the module is open to you till after all of the live interactive session. After the 6 weeks live interactive sessions, we'll see leave the portal open for maybe another 1 month for people that probably are slow learners, or they have other things that they were doing that were taking up their time, and all that will leave the portal open for them to be able to catch up for that time and also be able to access their certificate. And to be able to move to the next module, you have to score a certain percentage, like 65% is what you need to move to the next module. But if at 3 attempts you still didn't score 65, the portal the system will allow you move to the next module automatically. So if you do the first test, you get 20, you have to do it again. If you get 20 again, you have to do it again. If you get 20 again, the portal will just let you go to the next module. But then it is the average score for first attempt is 65% for you to move to the next module. Thank you so much. I'm not sure I'm able to take all this question. Melvin Dwaka, please go ahead. Please, if you have questions, put them in the comment section. My colleagues are in the comment section. They'll be able to see it and answer your questions so that we don't raise our hand and then we're wasting too much time. Thank you so much. All right, Melvin, please go ahead. Hi, Melvin. If you are speaking, I cannot hear you. Okay, who is the next person? Musimenta Edmund, please go ahead. I'm asking you to unmute. Please go ahead.
Thank you very kindly. This is Musimenta Edmund from Uganda, and processing basically coffee. Now my question is, if I want to retake maybe a course unit, so that I can understand it the more, get the concept, could it be possible? Yes. Then I also realized we started when we were around 496, but now we are getting close to 355. So possibly indicating maybe some members could have internet issues. For instance, here in Uganda, it's a bit difficult to access internet, bundles, packages, all that. So would in the next probably cohort, probably bless somehow advice on how people can access internet in the fastest way so that we can all together be on board. Thank you.
All right, so we understand the problem of internet in Africa, and that's actually why the BRACE program is self-paced learning. And also for the live interactive session, we try to put it on YouTube so that if you're not able to, probably because of your network, you try to log in and you're not able to do that and all that, you can access the live interactive session later on YouTube to be able to learn more about what happens during the session. So because of the understanding of internet, that's why we made all of those options available. Yes, thank you so much. Please, if you have dropped your question in the comment section, please drop your hand so that we'll be able to move on. Who else? I'm not seeing. Okay, Abdurrahman Husseini, please, I'm asking you to unmute and go ahead. I'm sorry, this is the last question I can take. We're going to have the live interactive session next week. We're going to do the portal walkthrough again. We're going to repeat some of these things again so that if you have questions, we'll take more questions by then. So please go ahead, Abdurrahman.
Okay, my question is that are we going to have a physical training after we have done all these courses, or is it going to be like virtual?
So it's really a
that's my
virtual,
question.
it's really a virtual program. So the only physical component of the BRACE program is going to be the study visit, which actually cuts across different locations and all that. So after the training, the virtual training and all that, we'll be having study visit in some locations. So your location may just fall into that study visit, and we'll let you know. But that is provided that you have downloaded your certificate. If you do not download your certificates, you will not be eligible for any of the physical components that we are talking about. Also, we have the mentorship program, which Amaka has talked about. All of those are, other offshoots of the BRACE program, but they are for people that have downloaded their certificates already. And then just to quickly let you know, there's the top scholars for every week. So every week we announce top scholars. So for top scholars, there are people that did outstandingly in the week, in the previous week. For example, for module 1, people that have the top scores and the people that also have the top attendance during the LIS will be announced as top scholars, and those people will be unveiled during the live interactive session, and also their pictures will be announced. They will be announced as top scholars in our various social media pages. So I just would like all of you to know about that so that you can prepare to be top scholars for each. I'm so sorry for all of the hands that I raised. This is the much I'm able to take, but please, if the question is really pressing, please send it to the BRACE email address, which is brace@afc.org, afcorg.org, the same email that have been sending you all of the commitment forms, all of the selection, that same email. Please send us an email there, and then we'll be able to attend to all your questions. Also, there's already a WhatsApp group, which some of you have joined already. We'll still be sharing the WhatsApp group again so that those of you that have not joined can join that WhatsApp group. You can also ask your questions in the WhatsApp group, and we'll be very happy to answer those questions. You can send the admins in the WhatsApp group DMs, and we'll be very happy to answer all your questions. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's onboarding. It's so nice to see you all. I hope that we'll get to see you again next week during the live interactive session. The link to that session will be sent to you within the week. So please look out for it, expect it. We'll be sending you the flyer and the link for that session so that you can join the live interactive session. But then, like every other person on the call have said, it's going to be a 6 weeks experience that you would not forget in a hurry. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Till I see you all again next week, Friday. My name is Patience Bryman. I work as a program officer at African Food Changemakers. All right, take care, everyone, and bye for now.